Anne's best friend will soon be able to live with their handlers for life under a new scheme announced today. From next month, sniffer dogs from the canine and military working dog units will be able to go home with their handlers even if they live in public housing. Channel NewsAsia's Dawn Tan went to meet some of the long-serving four-legged members of the team tasked to fight in Singapore's war against crime.
Where is it?
They're fast, hard-working, and play a dedicated role in Singapore's war against crime. While on active duty, sniffer dogs have helped ensure the island's safety and security since 1970. From solving drug crime to tracking and apprehending suspects. On the front line of security are the dogs housed and trained at canine and military dog units across Singapore.
Now, the police canine unit has been here at Mowbray Camp since 2004. It has a narcotics detector dog training program that trains dogs just like Hira, and that's a job that she's been doing for 7 long years.
Hira is a sniffer dog who's lived her entire life here at the canine unit. Just like any uniformed officer, she's followed a daily routine since she arrived here as a pup from Perth, Australia. Her life built around discipline and training.
Hira was selected because she's a very happy dog, and that's what we look for in a police dog. We need a dog to be happy to work. We don't want a dog that's just doing it to go through the motion, but a dog that's actually really excited to work. So when you play with Hira, you'll realize that she's got a very keen sense of retrieve. Of course, over the years, it deteriorates because as you get older, they get a little bit more lethargic and a bit tired easily.
But at just over 7 years old, it's time for Hira to retire. Kelvin has been Hira's handler since 2011 and has decided to adopt her. It's not the first time he's giving a home to a working police dog. He wanted to give Jake a home in 2009, a German Shepherd who worked for 7 years with the canine unit as a police patrol dog. But HDB rules at the time prevented him from keeping a large dog.
Back then we were staying in a HDB flat, and I had to convince my dad, my mom and my wife-to-be to all really pull in our resources to move to a private property just to be able to get this dog back, because first and foremost, German Shepherds are more difficult to adopt out because of the fact that they are larger breeds, and people might not be very comfortable handling German Shepherds.
The sniffer dog breeds that are permitted under the new pilot scheme include Labradors, English Springers, Cocker Spaniels and Pointers. Dogs can be trained to sniff out almost anything, and that includes currencies, cigarettes and even explosives. Following the September 11 attacks in the United States, the canine unit at Mowbray started a scheme to train dogs to detect explosives. Just like Artie, he can detect the odor signature of materials used in bomb manufacturing. Until now, the rules over dog handlers living in public housing adopting these larger breeds has had an impact, limiting the number of retired dogs that could be rehomed drastically as compared to those adopted by ordinary residents. Since 2014, only 20 such dogs have been given homes by their handlers, as compared to 99 dogs rehomed by civilians in the same period.
If at that point in time HDB was cool with allowing us to bring our retired dogs home, I would have had a much easier time financially. But that being said, not only myself, a lot of my colleagues also would have had an easier time, because that kind of deterred a lot. Not everybody will be able to pool their resources and get a private house to home the dogs. Yeah, so if that was possible, a lot of my colleagues would have been able to rehome their dogs with them, and that would have been so much better for the dogs to be rehomed with their handlers.
Project Adore was launched in 2012 to assess how well mixed-breed dogs would be accepted in HDB estates if proper safeguards were in place. So far, it's been hailed as a success. Authorities say residents in both public and private housing have been receptive to larger dog breeds in their neighbourhoods.
The expansion of Project Adore to include larger canine unit dogs like these mean that officers potentially now have the chance to take home the dogs that they've cared for so long. Narcotics detector dogs like Moss, like Toto, and dogs like Artie. He's a 7-year-old explosives detector dog who's just into retirement and he needs a home. Don't you, boy? Don't ya? Don't ya?
The pilot expansion will be reviewed after a year to assess whether to extend it to other types of service dogs. For now, only handlers from canine units and military unit dogs can adopt these bigger retired dogs if they live in public housing. But it's given a new lease on life for Singapore's four-legged warriors.